In the remote heights of the Iberian peaks, in the solitary convent of the Barefoot Carmelites, dwelt Sister Maria Teresa, a 50-year-old nun whose existence, seemingly, unfolded in everyday routine. However, behind her serene countenance, the nun harbored the enigma of prophetic revelations that had shaped her destiny since childhood. With eyes that seemed to transcend the veil of time, Sister Maria Teresa stood as an enigmatic seer destined to share her gift with the universe through a gaze saturated with contemplation and prayer. In the midst of these elevations, the narrative begins by unveiling the mystery that Sister Maria Teresa guarded. Her visions, imbued with symbolism and mysticism, painted a dark picture of furious storms, relentless epidemics, devastating wars, ruthless persecutions, and divisions that threatened the very essence of the Church. Yet, amid these trials, a brave and resilient Supreme Pontiff emerged, leading the Church through the shadows toward a new season of rebirth and spirituality. With confident writing in a dedicated soul, Sister Maria Teresa penned a letter to Pope Francis, sharing her revelatory visions filled with reverence and love. The letter transformed into a warning and encouragement for believers, urging them to prepare for difficult days and to follow the Pope with trust and devotion. This visionary message rose as a beacon of confidence in dark times. Not every revelation from Sister Maria Teresa was saturated with optimism. In a shocking vision, the nun glimpsed two predecessors of Pope Francis, John XI and Paul VI, destined for the depths of hell. According to her vision, their condemnation stemmed from the introduction of innovations and reforms that contradicted the teachings and heritage of faith, as well as their alleged involvement with a secret society. Deeply moved by the infernal manifestations, Sister Maria Teresa composed a second epistle addressed to the Supreme Pontiff. In this letter, she implored the Holy Father to revoke the canonizations of John XI and Paul VI, emphasizing the urgent need to restore authentic faith and liturgy in the Church. The nun's plea sparked a vigorous theological debate, raising thorny questions about the relationship between tradition and innovation in the Church, plunging the faithful into profound reflections on the path to follow to preserve the purity of teaching. The narration of Sister Teresa's life leads us to ponder the current situation of the Church and the world. Sister Maria Teresa's request triggered a heated theological debate within the congregation, dividing many between loyalty to tradition and adaptation to modern times. The devotees of the nun underscored the sacredness of teaching, pointing out the danger of perceived innovations in the two condemned prelates. On the other hand, those advocating for progress argued the need to interpret faith more flexibly according to current demands. Aware of the complex situation brought about by Sister Maria Teresa's revelations, Pope Francis found himself compelled to make a decision of great significance. The pressures from both factions within the religious community urged him to reflect carefully on the visionary's request. As the Church navigated between the turbulent waters of tradition and innovation, the Pope faced a choice with lasting impacts on his spiritual leadership. As the dialogue intensified, humanity immersed itself in contemplation of Sister Maria Teresa's prophetic words. Devotees gathered to reflect on their own faith, preparing for the gloomy days that seemed to loom on the horizon. Amidst the tension, the congregation found itself at a pivotal crossroads, clinging steadfastly to tradition or embracing a renewal that could lead to a new spiritual flourishing. The long-awaited resolution of Pope Francis finally became evident. After an extended period of reflection and prayers, the Holy Father announced his decision to establish a special commission. This commission would be responsible for thoroughly examining Sister Maria Teresa's petitions, evaluating the authenticity of her visions and the legitimacy of her requests. Comprised of theologians well-versed in ecclesiastical history and scholars of sacred scriptures, the commission delved into the details of the visionary's visions. Every detail and symbol were scrutinized with meticulous attention, aware that their conclusions would shape the course of the Church and the understanding of doctrine. After months dedicated to in-depth study, the Commission issued an official statement acknowledging the sincerity of Sister Maria Teresa and the legitimacy of her prophetic visions. However, it rejected the request to revoke the beatifications, proposing instead a strengthening of dialogue among the diverse currents present in the congregation. The determination of the Supreme Pontiff, based on the Commission's recommendations, pointed towards a path of harmony between tradition and openness to renewal. The Chronicle of Sister Maria Teresa, the visionary nun of the Barefoot Carmelites, concluded shrouded in a halo of mystery and deep understanding. Her visions, epistles to the Supreme Pontiff, theological dialogue, and the final determination merged as an inextricable part of the narrative of the Catholic Church. Sister Maria Teresa's legacy persisted, inspiring future generations to contemplate faith, prophecy, and the Church's ability to adapt without compromising its divine essence. The decision of Pope Francis and the closure of Sister Maria Teresa's case represented a crucial moment in the chronicle of the Catholic Church. Following the Pope's will and the Investigative Commission's findings, the congregation embarked on an adjustment process, seeking a balance between its millennia-old tradition and the demands of contemporary times. New exchanges, proposals for renewal, and a greater openness to analysis characterized this phase of transformation. The immortal legacy of Sister Maria Teresa lingered in the hearts of devotees, who yearned to decipher the profound essence of her revelations and her plea to the Supreme Pontiff. The Chronicle of the Visionary Nun stood as a point of reflection on the interaction between faith rooted in ancestral practices and the urgent need to adjust to the signs of modernity. The theological discourses continued, fueled by the perception that the mystery of faith cannot be reduced to a simplified formula, while the sacred congregation moved along the path charted by Pope Francis's decision. A gradual transformation manifested. The open attitude to dialogue and the willingness to listen to diverse voices led to a sort of spiritual rebirth. Devotees, guided by Sister Maria Teresa's vision, delved into deeper meditation about their devotion and the congregation's mission in contemporary society. The flow of time, as always, revealed the unfolding of events. The community, through its capacity for adaptation and renewal, consolidated its presence in the earthly sphere. The spiritual spring prophesied by Sister Maria Teresa's visions materialized with renewed spiritual fervor and an unwavering commitment to social justice. Devotees, guided by a community more aware of its sacred mission, faced the challenges of the future with confidence and hope. The Chronicle of Sister Maria Teresa faded into eternity, but its impact endured in the fabric of the congregation and the collective. Her existence and revelations remained a testimony to the eternal challenge of devotion, navigating the turbulent waters of heritage and innovation while preserving the core of spirituality. As the world continued its journey, Sister Maria Teresa's narrative persisted as a constant reminder of the urgent need to embrace the mystery of devotion with humility and an open spirit. If you want to see more faith stories like this, type "I want it" down below in the comments. See you soon.